It is now my pleasure to introduce a man who needs no introduction for most of us. A good friend and neighbor, the first mayor of the city of Santa Clarita, our congressman from the 25th District and chairman of the House Armed Services Committee. As Armed Services Committee ranking member, he fought to strengthen our military and invest in a force postured to meet the challenges of the 21st century. He also led efforts to keep terrorist detainees off of U.S. soil, boost funding for missile defense, and restore the tradition of passing defense authorization bills devoid of controversial social items. Prior to serving as a lead Republican on the House Armed Services Committee, he was a top Republican on the Education and the Workforce Committee for almost 3 years, where he advanced conservative policies supporting school choice, teacher quality, and accountability, and higher education access and affordability. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressman Howard Buck McKeon.
Thank you very much, Dwayne, for that very warm introduction, and thank you all for being here today to honor our veterans and the fallen. I can think of no more beautiful place to be, or no more important place to be at this moment than right here, right now. A few years ago, on the first day of school, an Arkansas social studies teacher named Martha Cothran did something really special. With permission from school officials, Martha removed all the desks from her high school classroom. When the first period class came in, they asked Ms. Cothran, "Where are our desks?" She replied, "You can't have a desk until you can tell me how you earn the right to sit at a desk." They thought maybe it's our grades. She said, "No, it's not your grades." "Maybe it's our behavior." "No," she told them, "it's not your behavior." And so they came and went, first, second, third period, still no desks in the classroom. By early afternoon, TV news crews had started gathering around the classroom to report about the crazy teacher who had taken all the desks out of her room. The final period of the day came, and puzzled students found seats on the floor. Martha said, "Throughout the day, no one has been able to tell me just what they have done to earn the right to sit at their desks. Now I'm going to tell you." At this point, Martha opened the door to her classroom. 27 U.S. veterans, all in uniforms, walked into the room. Each was carrying a school desk. They placed the desks in rows, and they each stood along the wall. By the time the last soldier placed the last desk, the kids started to understand, perhaps for the first time in their lives, just how the right to sit at the desk had been earned. Martha said, "You didn't earn the right to sit at these desks. These heroes did it for you. They placed the desks here for you. Now it's up to you to sit in them. It's your responsibility to learn, to be good students, to be good citizens. They paid the price so that you can have the freedom to get an education. Don't ever forget it." Memorial Day is a day when we remember that our country and our great communities are the result of service, but they are also the result of sacrifice. Today we honor and remember those who sacrificed all. 12 of Santa Clarita's sons have fallen on the field of battle since September the 11th. Most recently, Specialist Rudy Acosta, who died in Afghanistan earlier this spring. The courage and heroism exemplified by Rudy and his comrades is the very foundation on which this great republic thrives. The actor Will Rogers, a fellow Californian, said, "We can't all be heroes because there has to be someone sitting on the curb to clap when they walk by." Memorial Day is our time to clap, to remember and to honor those who walked the hero's path. When I think of our own who have fallen in defense of our freedom, I think of the comment of General Norman Schwarzkopf, who said, "It doesn't take a hero to order men into battle. It takes a hero to be one of those men who goes into battle." Back in 1868, General John Logan signed General Order Number 11, declaring that the 30th day of May would be set aside for laying wreaths and flowers at the graves of fallen soldiers. It's said that the date was chosen because flowers would be in bloom throughout the country. That Army order was adopted over the years by northern states, ultimately becoming the federal holiday we celebrate today. By definition, Memorial Day is a day to remember. But today is also a day of thanks. We thank soldiers and Marines, sailors and airmen for walking dusty patrols on the opposite end of the earth, standing watch over our friends and families. We thank our National Guard for standing on the fragile levees of the Mississippi, holding back the waters and protecting the South from nature's wrath. We thank our reservists for leaving their families and their friends and their jobs to fight in a long, tough war. We thank our veterans for making our communities a better place to live, for teaching us the responsibility that comes with our American citizenship. And we thank the families of all these warriors for giving them the spiritual strength to keep our country safe. Memorial is not just about honoring the past. We also dedicate this day to the sacrifices of the present, knowing that they were made to preserve our future. I can think of no greater sacrifice than that of Lieutenant Michael Murphy, a Navy SEAL from Suffolk County, New York. During an intense firefight in Afghanistan, Lieutenant Murphy, cornered and outnumbered, willingly left protective cover to radio for help. He wanted to save his men, but his efforts cost him his life. America rightly honors men like Lieutenant Murphy, who was one of our cherished few to be awarded our highest military decoration, the Medal of Honor. I'm also proud to say that earlier this month, the Navy christened a new destroyer, the USS Michael Murphy. That ship will live up to its proud name as she sails around the world, keeping the sea lanes safe from harm, assisting in relief operations, and protecting the American homeland. This is the 9th straight Memorial Day that our nation has been at war. And this is the 9th straight Memorial Day that the American homeland has been safe from harm. It's because of the sacrifice of our brave troops that we stand here on this peaceful morning, free from fear and safe within our borders. Despite a decade's worth of conflict, we continue to go to war with an army of volunteers. All our brave troops have willingly answered the call, knowing that they would be put into harm's way. I urge all of you to remember today those who serve as defenders of our ideals, because the survival of our American idealism means that the memories of our fallen heroes live on. Heroes like Sergeant Sal Ginta, who on a cold mountaintop in Afghanistan exposed himself to enemy fire to protect his wounded comrades. After administering first aid to an injured teammate and fighting off a tough Taliban attack, Sergeant Ginta noticed that one of his men was missing. Ignoring the danger, he too exposed himself to withering enemy fire, twisting through unforgiving terrain and rescuing his soldier from 2 Taliban fighters. For his bravery, for his courage under fire, Sergeant Ginta was awarded the Medal of Honor, the first living recipient of the medal since the Vietnam War. On Memorial Day in 1923, President Calvin Coolidge said that patriotism was easy to understand. It means looking out for yourself by looking out for your country. Coolidge believed that righteousness was a fundamentally American value. The bravery and heroism of Sergeant Ginta and Lieutenant Murphy are proof of that wisdom. But he also knew that patriotism was more than just flag waving and wreath laying. Patriotism means rolling up your sleeves and making your community and your country a better place to live. Today we pay tribute to those who make sacrifices in the name of patriotism, because not all sacrifices are honored with a ribbon on the chest or the namesake of a Navy ship. Our great American society was built on the shoulders of patriots. Here in Santa Clarita, the American Legion awards scholarships to promising young men and women. The Patriot Guard stands vigil over military funerals, ensuring our fallen heroes are granted the peace they deserve. Our blue and gold star mothers show this great community the power of our flag while providing our sons and daughters with the spiritual armor they need to keep America free. Prayer Angels for the Military sends care packages and letters to our military hospitals and to troops in the Middle East. I'm particularly proud of the efforts of Vets Back to the War Zone, founded by Santa Clarita native Herbie Hightower, which comforts and heals veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress. The Veterans of Foreign Wars and the Marine Corps League regularly donate their time and money to feed the homeless and sponsor youth programs that enrich our community and help make Santa Clarita one of the safest cities in America. On that note, VFW Post 6885 Commander John Olish, who was a CB in Vietnam, is recovering after experiencing complications of his heart. And our local Vietnam Veterans of America Chapter President Frank LaRosa has also been experiencing health issues. Please send your thoughts and prayers out to both of these indispensable community leaders. The point here, and it's embodied in this great community, is that Memorial Day is a celebration of the sacrifices of the present as well as the past. So I encourage all of you to be patriots. Look out for our society and each other. Honor those who sacrificed to build this community so that Santa Clarita will always be safe and always be beautiful. Thank you and happy Memorial Day.